Hi everybody, I'm going to do something a little bit different today. I'm just going to talk about you and the beautiful you, and what it is to be you, and what it is to be alive, and what it is just to revel in your uniqueness. Now, you may hear a little bit of noise out the back as of Sunday football, kids football, but there are lots of things that make us us. There will never be another time in the history of the world where there will be another you. People say about doppelgangers, you can look like someone, but you are not the same as that person. A couple of twins, any twin will testify to that. I'm not the same as that person. We're all incredibly unique individuals. We all have something incredibly powerful and different, and something potentially to give. I think we can all affect the world and things in the world just by being who we are. Now we know that a kindness or an act of generosity, some way of helping another person, is always a good thing. It's always, almost always received in a good manner, and love makes the world go round. Now we tend to love with our small capacity of love, which is we can love one other person very closely. We may love 2 or 3 friends. We may love our families, our children, our families, but our capacity to love beyond that maybe is harder to maintain and sustain. I think you can, but of course we're only uniquely individual us, and we can only cope and deal with so much, and this is why we all need each other and why we all get along as best as we can. And you can't get along with everyone, and that's fine. But the uniqueness of you, what is it that makes you you? What is it about your character that sets you apart? Now, if I was describing myself, I would say I was... In fact, I'm not going to do that. Because you have your perception of me, and I know who I am. And some of us are always saying we're still looking to find ourselves, or what it is about us, which makes us us. Which, in a way, is a sort of... I can say sort of nonsense in a way. But the fundamental thing that makes me me and you, we would probably discern as being our characteristics. Maybe I'm more introverted and you're more extrovert. Maybe I'm more passionate and you're more dispassionate. Maybe I'm more cerebral about certain things, and maybe you're far more fun-loving, and you're a happy person and I'm an unhappy person. Well, different characteristics which obviously set us apart to make us who we are, as we would describe that anyway. And there are also characteristics about where we come from. We might say, well, this is my family background, this is my history, this is part of me. Now this is a big thing nowadays. People are holding on to things and dragging the past with them. And you just think sometimes it's healthy, sometimes it's not. But it still makes that person, there's something which that person feels is very strong within them, or at least sometimes people adopt these things because they want to be part of something, they want to be part of a bigger picture. But we adopt something, we see something which we want, and that relates to us, and that we want to be seen to be this person or that person or whatever, and be part of these people, or have this kind of history or that kind of history, or not this and not that. But this is just a modern kind of trend in a way. For the individual uniqueness of you, what is it that makes you you? Now there are many, many different characters in this VC, and you put all the faces of the VC characters up all together, you think, wow, there's an amazing number of people in this vinyl community, and they're all so different. But you kind of group them together. You go, well, there's the heavy metal crew, there's the psychedelic crew, there's the jazz nuts, etc., etc. So we kind of put these people in these sort of boxes. Now, and a lot of people could, like I say, there's a sense of we want to belong in somewhere. So that little box, oh, well, I like that little box. I like to be in all of the boxes if possible, because there's a certain thing about me which is I am far more. I can get very, very into something, but at the same time, my desire for kind of widescreen knowledge, if you like, is kind of like I need to know it all. Uh, it's not feasible in some ways, but I can touch upon it and I can enjoy some aspects of what other people are sharing, and also I can relate to it, I can get to it, I can understand it. But sometimes it holds me back from getting as deeply into things as other people. But the characteristics, what makes you you? What is so special about you? That could be such a positive or a negative phrase. What's so special about you? What's so special about you? There are many, many special things about each one of you. Each one of you has an incredible capacity to do all of the things, some of the things I've already mentioned, to love, to give, to bless, to help, to share. You also have this incredible ability to create. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to. You can have an ability just to care for your family, to do a great job, and to do it well. You might just love doing the most simple, mundane tasks and relishing in that, and relishing in the peace and the simplicity of that. And isn't that a wonderful thing? And there's so much to be said for just the simplicity, the uniqueness of each one of you. You're going to come and go, and at some point down the years we'll be forgotten unless we've created some masterpiece or whatever, and we will be remembered. But will we be remembered? The essence of who we are, will that be remembered? Nowadays we have more of an ability to remember, because obviously we have these videos and people can look at us and go, oh, about that person. Are they seeing the real us? In home movies, perhaps. In this kind of thing where we're projecting a certain image, or we're only discussing certain things, you can't see everything that I do in my daily life. You don't know a lot about me. You really don't. But there are certain things about each one of us which, we're just going to be forgotten. They're just going to go fleeting away in the mists of time. So while we're here, this wonderful, unique you, this package, which is so many different things. It's emotion, it's pumping blood, it's the ability to create, it's the ability to destroy, it's the ability to do anything. It's the ability that you have, this incredible you-ness, it's an incredible thing. Just an amazing thing that you are you. Each one of us is just incredibly wonderful, Now, some people, no, we're not, Some people are more wonderful than others. I'm more wonderful than you. I'm more wonderful than that person. I don't like what that person does. I don't like this. And yes, of course, some people have extremely reprehensible behaviours. But at the same time, though, also, these people have a capacity. They still have the same capacity to love or to give or whatever in their own way to other people, etc., etc. Some people do some despicable things. But that's an aspect of their character. It's not the whole man or woman, We still, these people still laugh at comedy or still cry when their mum dies or whatever, It's there's a whole mix of things that we are that makes us us. Now, I'm not going to get into this sort of idea of, we're all like part of the cosmos or anything like that. Or we all almost like we're our own individual inner cosmos. But we do have something really special. And I love it when people share something about themselves. Now, all we do in this community, we talk about records or things that we collect and things that fascinate or interest us, but all those other aspects, occasionally it gets touched upon. The most hit videos, the most watched videos, those are the ones where people say life update or something like that. And things happen. And then you see again something of the wonder of a person, the wonder of a personality, whether they've gone through incredible car accidents, as we know some people have, whether they've gone through life-changing surgery, all sorts of things that make these people unique. All of these things that we kind of, they're resonant to our humanity. You know, we're individual, we're one, we're unique. We are part of humanity. We are humans. When we look in the mirror, what do we see? We see a human being. You know, well, most of us do anyway. You know, we see a human being, you know, and it's a wonderful thing. And the complexity of who you are, and the capacity and the power you have to enjoy yourself, to enjoy others, to let others know that they can be enjoyed, you know, to let others know that they have a lot to give. It's an amazing thing that we can feel this power, this incredible power that we have within us to do, you know, good or to do evil or to do whatever. We have this incredible capacity to change and shape the world. Now, this is not, oh, let's go out and change the world. But in our own ways, but all of these little things, we all know that there's sometimes someone says something, maybe someone just, you know, working somewhere and someone says something, it stays with you for years. It could be the slightest remark that has no effect on them or on anyone else, but that could just stay with you. It can change your life or the way you approach things. Maybe you read a book sometimes, or you listen to a lyric and you, wow, I've never thought that before. And it can just set you on a completely different path. And these little nuggets of things that we can do in our lives are wonderful. There's a pressure, I think, to the Seize the Day thing that came out, sort of like the 80s thing. That phrase, seize the day, carpe diem. It's almost like there's a pressure to be somehow doing everything, doing as much as possible in the days that you have in this short span of time. Or, as Kevin Ayers said, all this crazy gift of time. You know, we have this capacity to do anything, but at the same time we can just relax. You know, we don't have to seize the day. We don't have to kind of control everything going on around us. We don't have to feel like it's all somehow got to be absorbed and we've got to know as much as possible or feel as much or do as much in a day. We can just enjoy the day and enjoy the calm and the rest and enjoy. And this is the wonderful thing. I think what's coming as I'm saying more and more of this, because this is, you know, the usual go in the morning, oh, I'll do this. It's this sense of the enjoyment of life, the enjoyment of who we are. You know, whether you collect comics, or whether you read books, or whether you watch TV, or you're skiing, or you love swimming, or cross-country hiking, whatever it is. You know, or walking on the moon. The wonderful thing is, it's all about enjoyment. And we have this thing, really, I've said before about this incredible beauty in the world, which we take for granted. We don't even notice it. We're almost desensitized to it, because when you start to realize the beauty, it's almost too overwhelming. And it's the same, everything is here, and it's something we can enjoy. We just enjoy it. You know, life is just so enjoyable. And everything that we have, I mean, yes, of course, it's tough and it's difficult and it's hard. But the things that make us us, whether it's the strength to persevere or to carry on, to get through, whether we have methods and, you know, meanings in our lives or things that we do, we put in place to get us through, it's still the unique you which enjoys that. And that the whole world around, you know, you still enjoy it. You know, you get up in the morning and there are still things to enjoy. Even, I mean, I'm getting older and I can see it. You know, I'm beginning to sort of age and I can see it, and I can look at that and, you know, I've had times it's sort of like, oh, you know, my goodness, it's just disappearing. At the same time, learn to enjoy that, you know, enjoy the difference, enjoy other aspects of life, and enjoy things in a different way. But you still have the capacity to enjoy everything on a daily basis, each and every one of us, that unique you, that person that you see in the mirror, and that person that you project. It's just an amazing thing. Yeah, there are so many amazing people in the communities, in the, you know, just incredible. And just the diversity and the this is maybe a ridiculous word, but the splendour of the individuals in the world, the splendid characters, the wonder of who each one of you is. It's just a wonder for me to actually kind of understand and know some of these things about you and get to know about you and to understand it. And in time you can develop a closeness and dare I say, even in certain cases, a kind of love for people. Even if you don't know everything about someone, you can develop a real fondness and feeling towards that person or people. So anyway, I've kind of rambled here. There's a lot of other things that I know that could go off at tangentially. There's all sorts of things that could be said. But for just the incredible wonder of you is something to be appreciated. Sometimes we don't like ourselves. We don't like who we are. We don't like our lives. We don't like this. But just remember the wonder of you. It's just an incredible thing. And it's to be appreciated. And we all can appreciate you, I don't know. Anyway, will I upload this? I don't know. I'll see you all later. And this could go on. I could probably ramble on, but 16 minutes is enough of this, surely, for anyone. And I'll see you all later. And maybe I might show some records next time. You never know. I'll see you all later.